The emergency council chamber of the Galactic Imperium fell silent as the final transmission played for the 7th time. Supreme Chancellor Vexthor's crystalline hands trembled as he paused the holographic recording, freezing the terrified face of Fleet Admiral Cross mid-scream. "One human," Vexthor whispered, his voice barely audible in the vast chamber. "He's saying one human did this." The council members, representatives from 47 star systems, shifted uncomfortably in their seats. The Third Imperial Fleet, comprising 12,000 warships and over 6 million soldiers, had vanished without a trace near the contested border of Sector 7. The only evidence of their existence was this 3-minute transmission, corrupted and fragmented but clear enough to extract one impossible truth. Commander Jara of the Military Intelligence Division stepped forward, her 4 eyes blinking in sequence. "With respect, Chancellor, the translation algorithms may have malfunctioned. Humans are barely space-capable. They've only just developed faster-than-light travel. One of them couldn't possibly—" "Play it again," interrupted War Mistress Qualum, her serpentine body coiling tighter around her platform. "The part where Cross identifies the target." Vexthor's fingers danced across the holographic controls. The image stuttered to life. Admiral Cross appeared, his blue skin pale with terror, his ship's bridge burning behind him, not responding to any weapon systems. "It's moving through our formations like they're not even there." "Energy shields are useless. It's already destroyed the 7th, 9th, and 15th battle groups. By the eternal void, it's just one—" Static consumed the transmission for several seconds. "Human. Confirmed human. Designation: Marcus Chen. Former soldier from their planetary conflict designated World War III. He's— oh gods. He's here." The transmission ended in a burst of white light and screaming. The silence that followed was suffocating. "We need to understand what we're dealing with," Vexthor finally said. "Jara, what do we know about this Marcus Chen?" The intelligence commander projected a file onto the central display. A human face materialized, unremarkable by most standards. Dark hair, weathered features, eyes that seemed older than the face that held them. Marcus Chen, age 34 standard years. Former special operations soldier in the human military. Participated in approximately 200 combat missions during Earth's 3rd global conflict. After the war, he disappeared from all records. That was 8 Earth years ago. Jara paused. 3 months ago, Imperial tax collectors arrived at a human colony world called New Terra. There was a incident. "What kind of incident?" Qualim demanded. "The tax collectors took civilians for forced labor when the colony couldn't pay. Among them was a child, a human child named Sarah Chen, age 6. She was—" Jara's voice faltered. "She was Marcus Chen's daughter." The weight of understanding settled over the chamber like a funeral shroud. "The collectors took his child," Vexthor said slowly. "And the Emperor's fleet went to enforce the collection?" "Yes, Chancellor. The 3rd Fleet was deployed when the colony refused to surrender the laborers. That was 48 hours ago. We lost contact 31 hours ago." War Mistress Qualum uncoiled from her platform. "This makes no sense. Humans don't have personal shields. They don't have weapons that can penetrate our armor. They die from a single plasma bolt. How could one human destroy an entire fleet?" "Perhaps," spoke Elder Nimra, the ancient philosopher who rarely contributed to military discussions, "we have been asking the wrong question." All eyes turned to the robed figure in the corner. "We ask how," Nimra continued, his ancient voice like grinding stones, "when we should ask why. What drives a human? What makes them capable of the impossible?" Jara pulled up additional files. "I've been studying human history, Elder. It's disturbing. They're one of the few species that evolved as persistence hunters. They would chase prey for days until the animal collapsed from exhaustion. They survived ice ages, plagues, and countless wars against themselves. Their literature is filled with stories of individuals overcoming impossible odds. They have a saying, 'Hell hath no fury like a parent protecting their child.'" "Poetic," Qualim hissed, "but hardly tactical." "Perhaps it is both," Elder Nimra replied. "We conquered 17 systems before we encountered a species that values individual life over collective survival. Humans bond with specific individuals, their family, their children, with an intensity we cannot comprehend. And when that bond is threatened, they become something else, Vexthor finished. Something we didn't account for. A new alert flashed across the holographic display. Shara's eyes widened. Chancellor, we're receiving a transmission. From Sector 7, it's him. The display changed. Marcus Chen appeared, standing in what looked like the command deck of Admiral Cross's flagship. Behind him, the evidence of destruction was everywhere. Twisted metal, scorched walls, emergency lighting casting everything in red. But it was his eyes that made the council members recoil. They were calm, terribly, impossibly calm. My name is Marcus Chen, he said in accented but clear Galactic standard. You took my daughter. I want her back. He paused, and something flickered in those calm eyes, something primordial and terrifying. I've destroyed your fleet, all 12,000 ships. It took me 28 hours. I didn't enjoy it, but I didn't stop either. He leaned closer to the camera. I'm uploading the coordinates to every human colony your empire has touched. If Sarah isn't returned safely within 48 hours, I'm coming to your capital world. And I won't stop at a fleet. The transmission ended. The emergency council sat in stunned silence until War Mistress Qualum finally spoke, her voice barely above a whisper. How did he survive our weapons? How did he destroy our ships? Elder Nimra stood slowly. Sometimes, Commander, the how matters less than the why. We made a father desperate. We made a warrior fight for something beyond victory or defeat. The ancient being turned to face Vexthor. I suggest we return his child, immediately. Chancellor Vexthor looked at the frozen image of Marcus Chen's face. Those calm, terrible eyes stared back at him across the light years. Jara, he said quietly, find Sarah Chen. Return her unharmed. And... He paused, making a decision that would change the Imperium's policy forever. Draft a new directive. Human colony worlds are to be granted autonomous status. No taxation. No interference. Chancellor, the Emperor will— The Emperor, Vexthor interrupted, did not see what I just saw. He did not watch 12,000 ships disappear because we took one man's child. The humans have a saying, Jara. Those who make peaceful revolution impossible make violent revolution inevitable. We've been making the same mistake across the galaxy. Today we stop. As the council dispersed to execute the Chancellor's orders, Elder Nimra approached Vexthor. Do you think he'll accept the return of his daughter and leave us be? The Elder asked. Vexthor looked once more at Marcus Chen's frozen image. I don't know, but I know this. Humanity has been trying to join the galactic community as partners. We treated them as subjects. We just learned the difference between the two. 47 hours later, Sarah Chen was returned to New Terra unharmed. Marcus Chen was waiting. The watching imperial monitors reported that he held his daughter for 17 minutes without speaking, then carried her home. He never made contact with the Imperium again, but the Third Fleet's disappearance became legend, a cautionary tale whispered across the galaxy. The day an empire learned that some bonds, when broken, unleash forces that fleets and armies cannot contain. The day they learned what one human could do when given no choice but to become a weapon, and what all humans might do if pushed to the same edge.